guys and gals, this is Laurel. I'm back for another video. I'm going to be making a beef burger soup. So let's get started with the video. I'm going to put it in my crock pot.
The soup.
Okay, I have extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil to my crock pot. I'm going to spread it around all the corners, the sides of the crock pot. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the frying pan. I'm adding 1 pound of ground chuck, and this is 80% lean and 20% fat. This is the kind I'm using for hamburger. Alright, you guys and gals, I'm going to take a quick break and clean up the kitchen, and I'll be right back. Alright guys and gals, I came back and cleaned up the kitchen a little bit, sauteed my vegetables. I sauteed a half a cup of onions, a half a cup of green bell pepper, and a half a cup of orange bell pepper. I'm going to combine the ingredients to the crock pot. I have my hamburger frying on medium heat for about 5 minutes. I'm going to dice 10 mushrooms in the food processor. I'm going to add some beef stock to my crock pot. So I'd say about 2 cups of beef stock. And this is the beef stock that I'm using in my recipe. I'm also going to add some gravy to my crock pot. This is the gravy I'm using. I'm adding 1 jar of water to the crock pot. Alright, you guys and gals, I'm going to take a quick break, clean up the kitchen a little bit, and let my hamburger cook, and I will be right back. Alright guys and gals, I cut up 8 pieces of baby Swiss cheese. This is the kind I'm using. So I dice the cheese with a knife. I slice my mushrooms. I'm putting the mushrooms in the crock pot. I'm combining my hamburger plus all the grease into the crock pot. You guys, I'm going to add pasta roni to my mixture. So it's the pasta shells. Since I had the grease from the beef, I'm not adding the grease, but I'm going to combine the milk. So I need 2/3 cup of milk and then 2 cups of water. So I'll take a quick break, clean up the kitchen, and I'll be right back. So I already added a cup of water. Now I'm adding the second cup of water to the crock pot. Adding 2/3 cup of milk to the crock pot. Adding a tablespoon of garlic powder to the crock pot. I'm adding some onion powder to the crock pot, about a tablespoon. A tablespoon of black pepper, and it's ground pepper, to the crock pot. I'm adding a tablespoon of sage to the crock pot. I'm adding a tablespoon of provolone spice to the crock pot, about a tablespoon. Alright guys and gals, I'm going to take a break, clean up the kitchen. I'm going to let this marinate in the refrigerator overnight, and I'll cook this tomorrow. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye. Hi guys and gals, this is Laurel. I'm back to finish up my hamburger vegetable cheese soup. I've had my crock pot cooking for about 3 hours. So I'm going to combine more ingredients to my soup. I'm adding a tablespoon of Heinz 57 sauce to my crock pot. And I am gassing a little bit. If you want less, put less in your crock pot. I'm using Worcester sauce. I'm going to put a tablespoon of Worcester sauce. If you want less, put less in the crock pot. I'm adding some Velveeta. I'm going to add, I would say maybe a half a cup of Velveeta to your mixture. I got these little packages because my husband and I don't eat a lot of cheese, so I get this type of cheese here. They're Velveeta and they have little packets, and you just cut up your little packet and make a small portion of macaroni and cheese. I needed to wash off my hands. That cheese is gooey. Okay, I combined in my cheese to the crock pot. I'm combining my pastaroni to the crock pot. This is shells and white cheddar. I'm adding a 1/3 cup of cornstarch into this mixing bowl. I'm combining the package of cheese from the pastaroni into this mixing bowl.
Thank you for watching my video. Always keep cooking. Never give up on cooking.
I'm adding a 1/2 cup of water to this mixing bowl. I'm mixing up the cheese and the cornstarch together. And with this mixture, make sure you get all the lumps out of your mixture. So your cornstarch and cheese mixture. Combine your cornstarch cheese mixture to the crock pot.
Mix the cornstarch and cheese liquid mixture into the crock pot. Mix the soup every 15 minutes.
Add your pasta to the crock pot. Let your soup cook for about another hour or until done. Alright, you guys and gals, I'm going to take a break. Let my soup cook for a while. And then I'll be back to show you what the soup looks like when it's close to being done. Hi guys and gals, this is Laurel. I came back to finish my mushroom, beef, cheese soup. I'm adding kitchen bouquet to the crock pot. I would say about a tablespoon of kitchen bouquet. This is just a browning sauce. It's optional to put in your soup. This is what your soup looks like. I'm gonna taste my soup. Alright guys and gals, that's your beef and cheese and mushroom soup. So give my recipe a try. I like this soup, especially on a cold day when it's snowing. Yummy. Alright guys and gals, I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share my YouTube link with other people. I'd appreciate that. And never give up on cooking. Also never give up on gardening. I'll see you later.